Hello and welcome back to some more F1 2020 and part 5 of my team career mode with Jordan. Today we have the Dutch Grand Prix around Zandvoort, another new track. I'm really looking forward to this one. We also have a press interview coming up as well, and I've got some things to update you on, which is fantastic. Just want to say thank you for all the incredible support on the series so far. If we can keep hitting 50 likes, that would be absolutely amazing. So thank you very much for your support. Keep it coming and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already for daily F1 2020 content. So, today, as you can see, we've went ahead and we've purchased the media coaching driver perk. Unfortunately, Emma tells us about it every single time, which is a little bit annoying, but hey ho. You can see Lewis Hamilton. Look at his stats are absolutely insane. But Mick Schumacher is going up in the world. He's now 61 rated. His contract is apparently his market value at least is worth 1.5 million. His current contract is, I believe, 1 million. So let's just have a little look. Yes, so the contract is 1 million. So be interesting to see whether we can hold on to him. His contract expires 6th of July, so I think around about the halfway point of the season, around about Silverstone time. We can get a new sponsor, so that's exactly what we're going to do at the start of this episode. So we can go for A&F, which is 161.5k for the goal bonus, 125.8k for the weekly income. That's pretty good. Score 3 championship points during a race weekend. That's a tough one, I would say. Atlantic. Again, complete a total of 75 laps. Overtake 5 different drivers during a race. Again, not likely to happen every single race weekend, which is the problem. As a team, complete a total of 10 laps during practice. I mean, that one's a little bit more achievable, but not much in the way of income. If we sort it by weekly income, I should be able to hopefully achieve and hold first position for 4 laps. I mean, unless we do a terrible strategy, I don't think that's gonna happen. I'd like to see achieve a top 12 finish during the race. That's not too bad. Fastest lap, again, really, really tough. Score 1 championship point. Yeah. Complete all practice programs. I mean, there's another one for no DNFs. I'm pretty happy to go with just that one again, to be honest with you. 136k, we get 110k a week. Quest, let's go for that one. And the car, that's only a 56-day contract, so more weekly income from the sponsors. And if we don't do it, or don't have a DNF, which is hopefully what we'll have, you can see how much money we're going to get as well. Another 250k, so making nearly $1 million from the sponsors a week, which is fantastic. Another thing to update you on is the current R&D programs we've got going. We've got a chassis upgrade going on at the moment. We can actually cancel developments, interestingly enough, but that one should help us catch up to Alfa Romeo a little bit. Our chassis is a long way behind the rest of the field, but we need to get some more resource points to get us going with that. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. The activities I've got coming in are G-Force training, Aero team building, and Supplier HQ tour. So that's exactly what we're doing. So let's continue on to this press interview. So you can see all that's going well.
As we continue to increase our acclaim, more potential partners become willing to work with us. We can now approach an additional sponsor from the corporate tab.
Okay, let's go to the press interview. Looks like it's going to be Will Buxton again. It's all good. I'll try and
so
sort of
much
shut
for
up.
the invitation to your HQ. Let's have a little chat about the team's performance this season. Let's talk about your new second driver. How are they settling in? What are your predictions for your team going into this season? You've been struggling to get points this season. What are the key areas of improvement you need to make to the team? Do you see your relationship with your second driver being long-term, or will you be looking for someone else if you're successful? Your second driver seems to be getting much more comfortable with their car. Have you been focusing on their development? And thanks so much as ever for your time. It's hugely appreciated.
So there you go then. Nice interview with Will Buxton. Just tried to give you the full experience of it. A few nice questions there. Hopefully we'll have got some decent acclaim from that. Not entirely sure. Balance and act. Yeah, that's just help, isn't it? Okay, that looks all good. Okay, nice. So we have got some R&D points now. Might actually look at getting another upgrade.
I recommend we could go for something like this.
I think this one looks pretty good. Rear wing outer strakes. What does it do? Strakes along the outside of the weir help direct air upwards, thus creating additional downforce. I really do think we need downforce, so that'll be good. That'll be in time for the Monaco Grand Prix, which is probably about the right time that we need a bit more downforce. So there you go. We'll get that going. So another thing in the bank in terms of R&D. So that's all looking good. So yeah, Circuit Zandvoort. Looking forward to this one. Let's see how we get on in qualifying. Well, our first wet running of this career mode then. I actually quite like this Zandvoort track. I think it'll be a real favourite to watch. I think it's just so fast, and the sense of speed around here is really apparent. You know, it really reminded me of F1 Championship Edition, and the real sense of speed you get around here. You won't necessarily get that in the rain. I'm really not looking forward to seeing how slow we're going to be, but I just get out there, put in the laps, I suppose. So, yeah, let's do it. Well, we're coming round the final couple of corners of this track. I think this has been a pretty good lap so far. We have fueled the car quite heavily so that we can have a good few goes at this, but our banker time as we come through the straight now is going to be a 1:26.5, which puts us 6th at the moment, and I don't think that's too bad at all. I think that's actually a pretty good time. We're in the middle of the McLarens at the moment, but obviously this track is just going to improve and improve and improve. We seem to have lost our way a little bit here, so probably wise to stick it back into standard at the very least. I don't think we're going to make 2 seconds up, but no, a positive start. Here we come onto the pit straight then. You can see we're a couple of tenths up on our time. Didn't get the best of exits from that corner, but we have moved up to 8 as it stands, so track is getting better, but you know, can still improve further. We'll see how we're doing this lap, but if we're not going to improve, then might as well come in at the end of this and stick a new set of wets on and see how we do on that. Well, look at this. Look how much time we've made. This is nearly 0.8 of a second as we come up to the line. And we now move up to 7th position, which is really, really fantastic. With only 2 minutes to go. So I think we're going to be safely through to Q2, but the times are going to quickly change over the next couple of minutes. So we've got to be out there, because the track could, in theory, go to its best in these next couple of minutes. It feels like it's getting quicker, a little bit more grippier as the water's being thrown up by these big wet tyres, but we'll just have to see how it develops. Well, coming up to the line, well off the pace on this lap, but it looks like we are going to get through to Q2. And we do. We get through in 8th, which is a fantastic performance. So, looks like we've got the performance in the wet. Let's have a little look at where Mick finished. So, Valtteri Bottas was quickest. Any big shocks? Magnussen, Ocon, Schumacher down in 19th. Only 0.2 off getting through to Q2 as well. Grosjean, Russell and Latifi. So, Ocon, I suppose, is the big shock there. Well, we've come through with our first lap time, and that's enough for 4th place at the moment. I have no idea how competitive a time that truly is, but we're faster than Ricciardo, and he's certainly somebody that's been doing well this season, qualifying in the top 6 quite often, so maybe, just maybe, we might get through to Q3 here. Well, guys, it seems like the conditions are getting better, and I'm looking at the lap delta on these intermediate tyres, and I'm thinking we could well be in the crossover point here. Now, we've just got to try and leave it long enough, reduce the amount of fuel in the car, because we don't want to go out there and it be completely...
So far, our fastest lap is a 1:26.2.
I don't want it to be a completely wrong decision. But we'll see. The lap delta suggested this would be a second quicker. We shall see how it goes. Okay then, guys. Here we come onto our flying lap. These tyres feel pretty good. I don't know if everybody's out there. There's definitely a lot of cars in the pits, so it's all going to be about whether we can hook this up, really. Certain sections of the track are going to be quicker on these tyres. Certain sections of the track will probably still be slower, but actually it feels pretty quick already. So you join me around about halfway through the lap, and you can see how much time we're making. This was a stroke of genius. I think we're definitely going to make it in to Q3, and this is going to be absolutely huge. But you can see the times are dropping massively, so it's all going to be about whether we can hold it together as we go through the final bend. And you can see the time shaving off us here. We're going to make up about 1.5 seconds as we come up to the line, and we go 6th. Absolutely brilliant. Into the top 10 shootout, and that means we're going to have a real good advantage at the start of the race. And look at that, we were the only car in the end to go on intermediates. You can see there's been a couple of shocks there. Ricciardo's dropped out, Sainz is out as well. But, wow, I mean, I'm surprised more of the top guys didn't drop into those zones, but they were just so much quicker on those wet tyres. But as we go into Q3, who knows what's going to happen? Surely we can't stick it on pole. Well, again, you join me halfway around the lap, and nobody has took our method of going out on intermediate tyres now. It feels so much more comfortable. I know we've already had a lap on them, but they just feel so much more racy than they did the last lap I did. And, well, here we come round for the first time. Charles Leclerc's gone quickest with a 1:24. I think we're going to blow that out of the water as we're coming up to the line. What's it going to be? It's a 1:24.7, which puts us third at the moment on these intermediate tyres. That is absolutely insane. And we're only going to improve. Surely people are going to have to make the choice and switch to the inters by the end of this session, because we are just gaining time. And look at this, we're already a 10th up on our previous time. Well, you can see we're clearly up. We're going to be 3-4 tenths up by the time we get to the line. Surely this can't be enough for pole position. It is! Wow!
So far. Well done.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. We're just out here pumping in times on these intermediate tyres. So we've probably got one more good lap out of this where we hook everything up. We just keep taking a lap off. And just, I just cannot believe this. We could genuinely have a pole position here because we're on the right tyre and none of the AI seem to want to change onto the inters. It is definitely intermediate weather right now. You can see how much grip I have out here, and well, I think case in point, a car that's 2 seconds slower than Leclerc in normal conditions is ahead. So, well, I mean, surely we're not going to hold on to this. This would be a truly unbelievable qualifying performance if we could pull it off. Well, with 20 seconds to go, we're about to start our final flying lap, and we're still in first position. You can see there's a Ferrari definitely in the pit lane, so we're going to finish at least 9th if everybody was to improve. But how good a lap can we put in? They've all come back out on the intermediate, on the wet tyres, so it's hard to see. But Verstappen has took it from us. Verstappen has took it from us at his home Grand Prix. He's gone pole for the moment. I think the dream might be over because we're already 0.3 of a second slower than we were. I suppose we're on 1 intermediates now. Maybe if we'd come in and put on a fresh set, we could have done this. This could be a massive missed opportunity. Who knows? But we're still fighting. We're still wrestling this car around. What's it through the middle sector? Oh, we've run out of fuel. We've run out of fuel.
Don't look like they're shifting. We're predicting at least 20 minutes of heavy rainfall.
Well, what a shame. But Verstappen has took our unlikely pole position. Will we be in that position ever again? Who knows? Who knows? But we are going to at least have a front row start by the looks of it. So we're coming in to the pit lane now. But what a qualifying that was for us. Our first ever Q3. And it's going to be our first ever front row start. Absolutely unbelievable. Right, can we... Oh, we can't hurry this process up. I thought it would just take us straight to the timing screens, but what an unbelievable quali. I mean that's got to be the longest qualifying session I've ever recorded, and that's just because I was pumping in lap after lap, just trying to get comfortable to the conditions. Lots of cars have come through, but we do start second.
Who will be fronting the grid? Verstappen, the captain, and Alexander Albon. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
I mean, can you believe it? We could be leading a Grand Prix going into turn 1 in the race. What a performance. I mean, we were very, very close to Albon, Hamilton, Leclerc. I mean, it just shows we won intermediates, which were clearly faster. And these guys were just pretty much on par with us, which is absolutely crazy. So that shows how slow we are in reality. But we rolled the dice, and in Q2 we did that and got through to Q3. I certainly wasn't expecting to qualify second. We were so close to pole, but we cannot be disappointed with that, because we're going to be starting second in the Grand Prix tomorrow. So I'm now going to hand over to David Croft and Anthony Davidson, who will take you through this 2020 Dutch Grand Prix.
It was 35 years ago that the late great Niki Lauda took his 25th and final Grand Prix win here at Zandvoort. He came from 10th on the grid to beat his McLaren teammate Alain Prost by just 0.2 of a second. Well, Zandvoort is a very different circuit today, of course, but still one with an incredible legacy. And we're going to add to that. Welcome along to the 2020 Dutch Grand Prix. Zandvoort circuit then, 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with plenty of steep camber and elevation changes to keep our drivers on their toes throughout the 2.6 mile lap. And watch out for cars making use of the DRS zone into turn 1 to try and overtake. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
Well, the throttle goes both ways, Crofty. You've got to have the discipline not to try and win the race on the first lap. So always be prepared to lift early and give those around you more space. Trying to be the last of the late breakers with half a dozen cars around you may pay off from time to time, but it's also a great way to lose your front wing.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position, and the captain completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Albon, Hamilton, Charles Leclerc and Vettel, Bottas, Perez, Norris and Lance Stroll, Sainz, Gasly, Daniel Ricciardo and Raikkonen, Kvyat, Giovinazzi, Kevin Magnussen and Esteban Ocon, Schumacher, Grosjean, Russell and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
Well, can you believe P2 on the grid? Unbelievable. I mean, it's going to be so tough from from second position. We are apparently going to go on the medium tyres, which is a bit of a risk, to be honest with you. But it looks like the tyre life of that tyre is pretty good. And then moving on to the soft tyres later on, which I suppose is a decent way of doing it. We'll put just over half a lap extra fuel in, just to try and make us extra racy. But I cannot believe we're starting this far up. Wow. I mean, we're the second off the grid.
Good, but we need to learn the gears, so go into each one when you can. We're going to need some work on the brakes, so put some energy into them and warm the tyres as well, please.
So we need to make sure everything is as warm as possible. I mean, we're on medium tyres. Nobody else around us is on medium tyres, so they're all going to be much quicker than us at the start. I think if we have any intention of winning this Grand Prix, which, surely we're not going to do that. We're just going to continually drop back. We might not even finish in the points today. That's how crazy it is. Then we need to jump Verstappen in turn 1. I mean, it was an unbelievable qualifying session yesterday. We thought we had pole position. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap at the end, but we rolled the dice on intermediates and it worked out really, really well. but there's no guarantee. Well, there's probably no chance of us maintaining this position in the race, but, you know, we've rolled the dice again with strategy. We're on the medium tyre. We go a bit longer into the race. If we're a lot higher up than we're expecting, then potentially that'll help us. But here we are, lining up on the grid. Max Verstappen is in pole position. We're second. Albon is in third, so we sandwich a Red Bull potential 1-2. Hamilton fourth, Leclerc in fifth, and then I believe it's Vettel sixth, and Bottas seventh. So nosebleed territory for us.
Keep an eye on the lights.
This is going to be
will begin as soon as the
absolutely insane. So here we go, ready for lights out. Let's not bin it at turn 1. Lights out, away we go here in Holland, and Max Verstappen goes defensive straight away because we got a better initial start than him. We go a little bit wide into turn 1, but we managed to hold it in P2 after the first sequence of corners. What a start to this Grand Prix. But Max Verstappen now pulling away. I mean, he must have absolutely papped his pants when he seen us get the better initial getaway. But obviously very different conditions to the wet weather yesterday, so it's about getting used to this track in the dry conditions again. Absolutely unbelievable how much Verstappen is pulling away, but it is to be expected.
That's not great, but it's not terrible. Stay focused.
Shut up, Jeff. You gotta be kidding me. It's not great that we've held P2, but we are going to be constantly under pressure in this P2, and we get a little bit of gravel on our tyres. We've got Albon breathing down our neck. We hold the inside line though, but Albon's there, but we manage to hold it. We've held position on the opening lap. We've ran out of ERS deployment, but we start again on lap 2. Look how far ahead Max Verstappen is already. He's going to waltz home with this Grand Prix thanks to us. I just cannot believe how far ahead he is. I mean, apparently only 0.6 of a second, but I don't see him anywhere. Where has he actually gone? There's no way he's only 1 second ahead of us. Where is Max Verstappen? I'm really confused. I literally think his car has disappeared. Oh no. I see him. We lock up slightly there. We managed to get the undercut. On Hamilton, but we are down to third now. I was too busy looking at the mini-map at Hamilton. At Verstappen, sorry. But here we come onto the main straight. We might be able to get back past Albon here. I think we've got pretty decent straight line speed.
Enabled this lap. You can use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
But what a start to this Grand Prix. Well, Bottas is through, so we're down to fourth now. No podium for us today, you would feel. But managing to actually hold our position fairly well. We are going to just gradually drop down today, but we're doing really, really well as we head on to lap 5. Who would have thought we'd still be in 4th place? Still looking good for points. We've got DRS. Actually, that caught me off guard.
8.7 seconds.
We've got Vettel, very racy on our inside. And, you know, those Ferraris behind know that their race depends on getting past us, and well, Vettel prepared to shove it down our inside. And, you know, our battle isn't really with him today, but we've got a chance here.
Rain in
And he locks up. And we're through. What a race so far here in Zandvoort. Holding on to 4th position at the moment. But look how far ahead the likes of Albon and Bottas already are. We are just the trolley train at the moment. But do I care? Do I heck?
We're approaching the pit window.
Well, there goes Charles Leclerc. Gonna try and fight it round the outside. We leave him room. Well, we just seem to have better tractions in some areas of the track. We managed to hold our position in P4. Which is absolutely amazing. And remember, if there is a DNF up ahead, we're first in line to take advantage of it. While Leclerc's on our outside, we should be able to hold it.
Try to stay with him, he might make a mistake.
Down the inside.
Still regain the position.
So yeah, we hold P4 still. Norris is closing in P6 at the moment. Here we come round. Surely Leclerc's going to pass this time with DRS. I'm going to use the rest of our ERS. But yes, this time he is through and he's not going to manage to hold that. Well, we have a bit of contact and Norris is through. I didn't expect Leclerc to be so slow through there, and we made a little bit of contact, so we're down to P6 now. And holding off Ricciardo for P7, so this could turn into a bit of a disaster thanks to Leclerc's slow driving through that corner.
Just over 10 minutes time. Rain in 10 minutes.
Okay guys, we're going to come into the pits. Obviously switching on to the soft tyres. It's a bit of a risk because some of the soft tyre guys are coming in, but I suppose it shows that those tyres
Let's get some heat into those tyres.
Can last. There's Norris. Oh wow, apparently crossing the white line there. But we've come out in 9th place, which I think is pretty damn good. Just behind Sainz and Norris, who are on the soft tyres as well. So maybe they actually started on the medium tyres like we did. I'm not entirely sure, because I can't remember. But surely they've come into the pits already. Well, I know Norris has, at the very least. Don't know about Sainz, but we're on the soft tyres now, so hopefully we'll be able to stay with these guys and maybe even pass Leclerc, which would be absolutely insane. There's yellow flags out. I don't know exactly what's happened.
Yellow flag.
I'm sure we'll find out as we come onto the pit straight, and it's Leclerc. Leclerc is out of the race, so that puts us up into 8th position, which would be our strongest performance so far. We've managed to stay with these McLarens, but unfortunately we haven't managed to quite get close enough to Sainz to pass him. I think we possibly do have the pace to do so, but the dirty air means that we just can't stay with him in these high-speed corners. But Leclerc out of the session, which means 4 points for us, which is absolutely huge. Well, we've got another yellow flag. I think that's still Leclerc. His car just hasn't been retrieved yet. I thought Vettel was maybe out as well and we would get more points, but no, not to be the case. So 2 laps to go, unless Sainz makes a big mistake. I think 8th looks about the maximum, but hey, we would have took that at the start of the day. Well, last lap of the race then, and yeah, it looks like Sainz is going to hold on to 7th place, but what a performance, you would have to say, from us to hold this pace throughout the whole Grand Prix. And I think it was wise to do the second stint on the soft tyre, which just allowed us to go at a much better pace. But Max Verstappen has won the Grand Prix, which we all expected because he disappeared into thin air earlier on in this Grand Prix.
Pump of fuel now. The tank is empty.
But we are struggling now. I think the tyres have officially gone. You can see Stroll right behind us. He's hoping to get a late couple of points more. But it's going to be 8th place today. But what a weekend here in Holland as we come through in 8th place and 4 championship points towards our total. Unbelievable.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Many doubted whether they could pull off the win here in Zandvoort, but they have done, and done it in spectacular style. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection, a shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work and they should be proud of the victory they secured here. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Despite the best efforts of our championship leader, that lead has taken a bit of a knock today. Now, let's discuss, Ants. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
Carlos Sainz certainly wasn't someone to scoff about. His ability to follow race strategies throughout with pinpoint precision has to be commended.
Let's move on to the constructors. The current championship leaders still hold top spot, but that gap is getting smaller. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from Red Bull this time out, and they improve their position in the championship. Well, Ants, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Well, what an unbelievable Grand Prix. I just cannot believe that we finished 8th. I mean, our pace early on was pretty good. We looked like we might be able to even hold on to something like 4th, but we were always going to get screwed over in the sort of pit stop phase. But if you look at our pace, actually we were in the top 10 of fastest laps. I have no idea how Mick's done this weekend. He finished 16th. 1:15.3 was his fastest lap time. So it sort of shows, our pace in particular was a lot better than it probably should be. And that could come down to a number of things. Maybe the AI are just not as optimised around here, and I was able to take advantage of that. I'm not entirely sure. All I know for certain is that it's not going to be as easy next time out. I think Monaco is the... I suppose it must be Spain next. But there you go, Lewis Hamilton leading the way. We're up to 13th in the championship now, with 6 points, which is amazing. Up to 8th with Jordan GP Mercedes. Only a point behind AlphaTauri at the moment. It looks like it is going to be a 5-way battle for 7th place this year, which is unbelievable. If we can get 7th place, that's going to be absolutely huge. But let's continue on. I'm sure Claire will have something to say. So, wow. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Claire doesn't have anything to say, but there you go. We do win the rivalry, or at least more rivalry points against Antonio Giovinazzi. We've got a good amount of acclaim boost, and of course we've got 2 lots of goal bonuses and no damage deductions, so another 100 grand there, which is fantastic. So we've moved up to 2.74 million. I think we are getting into the sort of realms where we want to be, upgrading our headquarters a little bit, and we'll maybe have a look at that in the next episode. But we'll have a quick gander at the calendar. I'm pretty sure it'll be Spain next, because Spain always comes before Monaco, but admittedly, I don't know the order this season, because funnily enough, it hasn't happened that way. But no, we have got the Spanish Grand Prix coming up very, very shortly. And then, of course, it's Monaco, Baku, then Canada, France, Austria, Britain, Hungary, Belgium, Italy. A great run of Grand Prix there. Singapore, Russia. So, yeah, plenty of things to look forward to for the rest of the season. But for now, at least that's where we're going to leave it. And next episode, we might have a little look at upgrading the facilities a little bit. But if you have enjoyed that, please hit that like button down below. If we can keep hitting 50 likes, that would be amazing. And if there was an episode that deserved it, I think it might be this one. Share it to anyone that you think might be interested in the series. You know, just do whatever you can, really, if you want to. Subscribe for daily F1 2020 content. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.